as I said before, right here in the Start Projects Now row, we have several ways to start projects. We did blank project already and some of the others from up here. But today we're going to skip over create slideshow. We'll do that later. I did something similar to that in the other video, but we're not going to. We haven't actually did this one here yet, but we will. But we're going to come straight over here today to the import content button. So now if I got a couple things before I even get started in there. I got a couple things. This import content is very good for when you're importing videos. Okay, there's some things you need to know about that, and we'll talk about that. There's some things you really need to know. As far as importing images, you might want to import images from something like the blank project or from the new project because you can have some issues with that, and we'll go over those also in this video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the import content button and we're going to bring in a video. Okay, this video that I'm going to bring in, this one here, it says one royalty free factory smokestacks, and that's a video that I downloaded from Pexels.com. Pexels.com is a website that has a lot of royalty free videos and also images, pics, photos that you can download free of charge. You can join them and you can upload some videos there also if you want your work to get known and stuff like that there. Yeah, I downloaded a couple videos, and this one here is one of them, and I'm going to load that up. Check out Pexels for yourself. And they also have an app, by the way, that you can put directly on your phone or Android device. I don't know if you can do it with Apple devices or not, but I use Android myself. But anyway, let me go ahead and bring this video in. So I'm gonna click that, and this video, by the way, is, if you see the dimensions over there, 1280 by 720. It's right there when it pops up. It's 1280 by 720. And I'm gonna click open. Are you sure you want to change project settings according to the imported file? And I'm going to say yes. So you see my width is 1280 by 720. So Vsdc picked up the dimensions automatically. That's why it's very good to import your videos, with the import content button. But then too, that's also if you want your project to be the size of that video. So if you know you want your project to be the size of a particular video, then you can put that video in there and import that video with the import content button. And even if you don't want to use that video later on, you can delete the video, but the project is going to be that size. It's going to be already set to that size. So say for instance, if you wanted a video you wanted the project to be 1280 by 720, just bring in something that's 1280 by 720, and if you don't need that video, then delete it. Well, yeah, that's a, kind of crazy way to go about making a project size, but however you want to do it, But anyway, yeah, it'll bring that video that you import in at the size of that video, and it'll detect the settings automatically. Now, I'll explain something to you about images later on. It doesn't work the same way with images. So, anyway, we have this here. Let's go ahead and click finish. Alright, when I click finish, you see that my video is in my canvas, and it's in there perfectly. Alright, it's 1280 by 720. Also, this, by the way, I always call it canvas. This is the scene area. So I could say put it in my scene area perfectly, but I tend to say canvas, and I noticed that some other people do that also. So this is our canvas, and it's in there. Now, It's in there, and I want to show you something here. Let me move this up so you can see. I'm going to move my playhead over so you can see the picture better, the video better. Now, you notice at the top of my video and the bottom of my video, I have black bars there. All right, that's because of the way the video was recorded, not because of my import content thing. Now, I know this video is about the import content button, but since this has occurred, I don't like black bars on videos. I think I mentioned something like that before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop this video, and the way I'm going to do it, Vsdc is automatically, it's going to crop the video and it's going to automatically resize it to the, to the size of my canvas or my project. Now there's several ways to crop in Vsdc, and not all of them is going to do that. So, but today we're going to do it the way it's going to do it, and later on I'll do a video and go over all the some of the well, I'm going to try to go through all of the other ways of cropping. But now, okay, let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, all right, let me bring this up, and also let me do that so that we can see what we're doing here. All right, now the first thing I want to do is I want to select my video. Okay, you notice I clicked on my canvas. Well, it's the only thing up there on my canvas, so I don't have a problem. If I had more videos and more things down here, I want to make sure I have it selected. So instead of clicking up here, I might want to click down here. So anyway, so I have it selected, and then I'm going to come up here to video effects. I'm going to left click on that. I'm going to come down to transforms, and I'm going to come over here to crop, and I'm going to left click on crop, and I could do from cursor position, because no, I don't want it because I got my cursor there. So I'm going to do it for whole parent duration, and I'm going to add a new layer, and then I'm going to left click on OK. Now once I do that, you see the crop object comes up. Now, so I want to, so it's already selected, but I'm going to left click on it anyway, just to make sure it's selected. And then I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to click on properties. Okay, once I did that, my properties box opened over here, and I'm going to show you real quick that in this is the crop mode down here. You see crop effect settings. This is crop mode, and we actually have two crop modes. You have crop and resize, and you have, if I left click on that, you see what happened. You have a drop down arrow here, and you see crop and resize, and you got crop borders. Well, we're going to use crop and resize today because we want to crop it and we want it to resize to the size of our project. Alright, so we're going to crop and resize. Now, the next thing we want to do is come down to crop and click crop tools. Left click on that, and the you see what happened there. Okay, now let me move that over so we can see it a little better. Alright, so now what we want to do is, you see we got the hash marks and the handles around here, and this is just like that, so I mean it's up in the way, but we can work with that. We're going to come up here and hover our cursor over that one there, over that handle right there, and we're just going to left click on it, and we're going to drag it down to right there. Okay, and then I'm going to bring that up there like that, and then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to drag that up there. Now, once I do that, that's what everything you see inside of there is what's gonna be in my video. Okay. And there's not gonna be any black bars. Now, let me show you what we do here. Now, my properties window isn't open, but you see it over there. All I got to do is bring my mouse over here and come down here to apply effects. And when I click that, it's going to crop those black bars out and it's going to resize my video. Left click. There it is. Okay. Close my properties window up and bring that down so that you can see the whole thing. Well, you can see that that's in there and that's in there. So let me do something with my zoom here. Some problems that you can have using this import content button. So let me close this project. And no, I don't want to save that. Alright. Now, okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in another video that's going to be the correct size. But I'm bringing this in because I want to show you something. Now, this video right here, Officer 202 by 360. This video is 202 pixels by 360 pixels. That's 202 pixels wide by 360 pixels high. It was taken with a phone. Okay. Now, this video is going to open up the correct size. Vsdc asked me, do I want to change the project settings? The reason why it's asking me that because the last time I did it was 1280 by 720. But yes, I want to change it to what my video is. So I'm going to click yes. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click finish. And you see it open up at the correct size for my project. And just to show you that it plays. Alright. Now, that's very interesting. Now I'm going to show you something else. Okay, I'm going to close this out. Close project. No, I don't want to save that. Now I'm going to import another video. And this video is taken with a phone also. Factory smokestack videos. Alright, I have 3 videos in here. And you notice that I have one that is the same dimensions of that one that I just put in there. Well, okay, let me tell you what I did. This is the original smokestack video. When I put it in there, it's rotated. It says it's 1280 by 720. That means that it's supposed to be 1280 pixels wide by 720 pixels tall. Well, obviously, that's not the case, right? Now, when I put this video in Vsdc, it's going to rotate. It's going to be rotated. It's going to be sideways. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Alright, see, that's what it says, 1280 width by 720 height. Click finish. My video is rotated. Now, I could rotate my video, but when you do that, it also presents a problem with cropping. Well, actually, depending on what crop mode you use. So, anyway, I don't want my video rotated, and I don't want to rotate it from up here like this here because that also presents a problem. If I try to fit that in this here, it's going to be really big. You know, I'll give you a quick example of that. Stretch it, and you see I got it in there, but you see it's really big. So if I leave it like that, I'm going to leave a whole bunch of stuff out of my video. And you see that's all of the picture I'm going to have. So that's not what I want. So let me close this out. And I'm pretty sure if you do something with a video, you don't Um, you want your whole video. I mean, you want your video to look right. I mean, I know I would anyway. So let me show you what else. I did two things to make this work. Okay, that was the original one there. This one here. What I did is, let me see what this says. Let me go to this one first. This one here, I took my original smokestack video and I ran it through another program called Handbrake. Handbrake is this is Handbrake right here. This is a very handy tool when you're working with your videos. It doesn't work with images, alright? Handbrake will convert videos for you. It will rotate stuff for you. It will do all kind of stuff for your videos for you. And it does it without quality loss. So if you don't, if you don't have Handbrake, you need to get it. And it's free. I believe the website is something like handbrake.fm or handbrake FM or something like that. Um, I'll put that in the description, um, you know, at the bottom there. And yeah, check that out. Handbrake is a very good tool for you. But let me go ahead and show you what I did with it. Okay, so that video is, where that is, right here. And that was this right here, factory smokestack, and that's it right there. So I can just take my factory smokestack and take it and drop it on my Handbrake shortcut. And then, okay, I'm going to export it as MP4. I could export it as whatever, but I'm not going through all them details right now. What I did with the video, for this video, is I resized it with Handbrake. So what I did is I came right here to dimensions, and I changed the dimensions right there. So I changed the dimensions of that to 202 by 360. So I just left click there and I did this 202 and that right there. $360. All right. And then I selected the directory that I wanted it in. All right. And same thing, you just change it in there. Or you can browse to the directory by using the browse button. I usually will look at the summary, dimensions, and I make sure my video size. I also always click constant frame rate. And I think I explained to you about constant frame rate before, and because it helps keep your videos in sync. But anyway, that's what I did, and then and I clicked start encode. And I'm not gonna do it again because that's what I did with it. I already did it, but I'm just showing you what I did. So you click start encode. If you click that, then the thing would come up here and it show converting, and then it'll be in the directory that you wanted. But that's how I made that one. That's how I made this one. This one. So let me show you how this one opened up when I did that. Remember, this one is 202 by 360. So I bring the Vsdc back up, import content, and the 202 by 360. See, I got resized with HB, that's Handbrake. And I click open. It asks me, do I want to change the size? Remember, the other video was 1280 by 720. So I'm going to click yes, I want to change the size. And I click finish. And voila, there it is. And my video is not rotated. Everything is perfect. That's another thing I want to say. When you take a thing, a video, I should say, and it's rotated, just take it and run it through Handbrake. It will automatically rotate your video for you. Um, all of those videos that I have that's rotating when I put them in here, they play perfectly when I play them on my computer and on my phone. But for some reason, it doesn't open right in Vsdc. So, but I ran it through Handbrake, and I think it's something other than what they call EXIF data. Um, it just seems like Handbrake rewrites the stuff and puts it in there for you, and it opens up correctly. So that's what I did when I made this video. Um, when I ran this through Handbrake, I just changed the size of it so that um, so that it would fix it. And then later on I realized all I had to do was run it through Handbrake. Now the reason why I went from let me show you here if it's open. The reason why I went from 1280, which is the original 1280 by 720, and I went to 202 by 360. The reason why I did that was because you remember the officer video over here? Officer, that one right there. When I put that one in there, it automatically opened up the right way. So I wondered if it had something to do with the size. So that's why I resized the factory smokestack to that size. And when I resized it, it fit fine. So then I began to wonder, is it because of the size, or is it just that the EXIF data was wrong? If anybody knows the answer, you tell me, or let us know in the comments, because I'm not really sure. The reason why I'm not sure, I'm actually thinking Handbrake fixed the EXIF data when I ran it through there. Okay, let me close that. Let me close this project. No, I don't want to save it. And we're going to import content again. Now I'm going to show you the other one. This one here is O2 original factory smokestack, and see it's 1280 by 720. It says it's 1280 by 720. But now let's see what Vsdc reads it as. When I said, remember 1280 is 1280 pixels wide by 720, and as you can see, it doesn't look like it's wider than it is tall. But let's select it, and let's open it. It asks me, does I want to change the project settings? And yes, I want to change it. Click yes. And now Vsdc reads it as 720 by 1280. Okay. So I don't know why that is, but in either case, whatever happened, Handbrake fixed it for me. So when I click finish, it opened up perfectly. Now there's one other thing I want to show you about that. Okay. This is the one I just actually, only thing I did with this one is I took it and I loaded it in the Handbrake, and I hit constant frame rate, and I exported it. Now I'm going to show you, let me show you what I did with it. I'm going to show you, I know I just told you, but I'm going to show you. So let's go over here and open that up in Handbrake. Click, what? Click. Okay. My original smokestack video. Take it, run it, open up Handbrake again with it. Okay. That's all I did. I put it in there, came over here, checked constant frame rate, and I clicked starting code. I said export, but it's starting code. I clicked that, and of course it ran through. Like I said, you see the green thing come across while it's encoding it. And then it says Q done or finished or something like that. And then I closed it, and that's what I had right there. Now, what I want you to notice, you notice that that has black bars on the sides right there, right? This one doesn't. Now, when I open this up in Vsdc, those black bars ain't there. So I don't know why they show up like that in the thumbnail or icon or whatever you want to call it. I don't know why they show up like that, but when I open it up in Vsdc, and even when I play it, it's not there. Let me show you. If I play it, it's like that. Well, of course, I can't see black bars here, but let me open it in Vsdc for you, and we'll see what we got here. Close project. No, I don't want to save it. Now, I'm going to open it. Original smokestack video. That's the one that I just took this and ran it through Handbrake. So this is it here. Let's load that up and see what happens. You're going to say yes. 720 by 1280, just like I said. Okay. Let me click finish. And it opened up perfectly. So you can do it either way with Handbrake. I think probably the best thing, instead of going here, instead of resizing or anything, if your video is rotated, run it through Handbrake. Set any other settings you want to mess with, like the dimensions or audio stuff, or the type of file you want it to export to or whatever. But in my case, I didn't want to do any of that. All I wanted it to do was fix my rotation. So I just put it in there, click constant frame rate, starting code, and it fixed it for me. So like I said, check out Handbrake. It does the job, and you'll see when I play this, it works perfect. So it's very simple procedure. Okay, I got a feeling this video is going to be very long. I'm sorry about that, guys, but this is some very good information right here. At least I think it is. Alright, so now I have one more video I want to show you here. I'm going to close that. I'm going to click no. Now this is a video of my daughter's dog. And it's rotated too, and I did the same thing with Handbrake. I probably really don't need to show you this because I already went through this here with the other one, but matter of fact, I probably won't, but I'll show you. This is the original 1280 by 70. When I open it, hey, I am going to do it. Can't help myself. 1280 by 70, and you see my video is rotated. You see my video is rotated, and I don't want it to be rotated. So what I did is I took it and I ran it through Handbrake. So let me close this and show you what I did. Well, I'm not going to go through it, but I'm going to show you the results of it, because I already showed you what I did. And this is the result. Yes. Finish. And my video is straight. Let me turn my sound down. I should have turned it down last time. And when I play my video, you see that my video is now straight. Alright, so like I said, get Handbrake. Get Handbrake. If you're having problems with your videos, get Handbrake. It can do all kind of good stuff for you. We went through some of the issues you can have when you're importing videos into Handbrake. To Vsdc. But now let's get into what happens when you import images into Vsdc. When you want to start a project based on the dimensions of an image file, the better way to import that image into Vsdc is not with the import content button. It's great for importing videos but not for importing images. Down here, let me click on my files and bring up these image files for you so you can see what I am talking about. files. There we go. Okay, I have here 3 images of a church. This is the original image file, and it says the dimensions are 3024 pixels wide by 4032 pixels high. And you see what the dimensions are on these right here. Now, the problem I have with this one is when I bring this one into Vsdc is that the video is rotated. It's sideways. It doesn't matter which one of the ways I import it from import content, a blank project, new project, it's this one here is always going to be rotated. And so I had to fix that problem. Now I'm going to show you I'm going to show you what happened when I brought in the Vsdc, and I'm going to show you how I fixed it. Alright, so let me shrink that. And I'm going to bring it in first of all with the import content button so you see what happens. Okay, now Vsdc has in here 1280 by 1706. Alright, we realize here that my image here is 3024 pixels wide and is 4032 pixels high. That doesn't match this. Now when I brought in the videos, Vsdc automatically detected it. But when I select this and I open it, the dialog box that came out and asked me that I want to change the settings didn't pop up. So Vsdc did not detect the dimensions of the video. So when I click finish, it's going to try to put that image, I said video, but it's going to try to take that image and put it inside of a project that's 1280 by 1706. So, and on top of it, the image is going to be rotated. You see what I'm saying? Now I could go through the problem of trying to stretch this video, this image, but first of all I want to rotate it, so let me show you. I'm going to show you what happens here. I rotate it, then I'm going to try to stretch it to fit in there correctly, and it looks like it just might do it this time. Well, it did it that time, and it fit in there perfect. But a lot of times it's not going to work like that. A lot of the times it's just not going to work, and it's too much of a hassle when you get something that's really big and you try to do it. It's just too much of a hassle to try to do it. But let me show you again with this here. Let me go back. So you see you can do it with that if you do the right thing. But let me say, if I start from over here and try to do it, you see I can have a problem doing that. And then maybe that might get it close if I do it like this. Do it like that, and that's kind of close. So that's not too bad. But there's a better way to do that than be trying to fooling with that. The better way to do it is to resize the stuff. Resize your image to the correct size. In this case, it's not right because it's rotated. So first thing we want to do, the first thing we want to do is resize that image. So I'm going to close this project for now. And do I want to save it? No. The first thing I'm going to do, first thing I did was resize the image. And I resized the image using the Paint program. Paint. And I came over to Paint, and I took my original church video, which was 3024 by 4032. I drug it into Paint, and as you can see, that's a really large photo. So what I did is I brought it down to 202 pixels by 360 pixels. And the reason why I did that is because you remember the officer video? When I opened it up, it fit perfectly in the canvas. So I was thinking that might have something to do with it. But I don't really think that's what the problem was. I think what the problem was is that the EXIF data wasn't written into the program correctly. That problem occurs when you take things from other devices, when you take images and videos with your camera. There's some kind of way something goes on with the EXIF data where the rotation isn't correct and all that. But if you take that rotated picture and you run it through Paint, which is what I did here, and I'm not even sure that you got to resize it, but that's what I did. With that 202 by 360, yeah, 202 by 360, what I did is I unchecked this where it says maintain aspect ratio. I unchecked that and I checked pixels, and I changed my dimensions in here. And the reason why I unchecked the maintain aspect ratio because it would do both of those in conjunction and my numbers wouldn't match. It would actually try to match the aspect ratio of the original, of the original image, and I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to make it exactly 202 by 306 to match what was in this here. So 202 by 360. So see, now I can type that in like that. 360. Not 369, 360. And I clicked OK, and that's what I got. And so I saved that file, and this is the file that I saved. So I'm not going to save it again because I already got it. But you see what I'm saying. Now when I put that in the Vsdc and I bring it in from a blank project, let me say it like this. If I took it and I put it in any of them, the image won't be rotated. It'll be set up just the way it's supposed to be. The only problem is if I use the import content button, Vsdc isn't going to detect it's not going to detect the size. So let me show you what I'm saying. Shrink that, close Paint. Okay. Now if I click import content and I come over here, remember this one came out rotated. This one, if I put this one in, this won't be rotated. Of course this Vsdc ain't going to detect the dimensions, but it won't be rotated. It'll be straight up and down, the way it's supposed to be. So you see the dimensions didn't change. I click finish, the video is straight. So now what I want to do, and I'm not going to go on and on with this stuff, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you what happens when you bring it in the other way. And it just makes life easier when you do it like this. Just start a blank project. The photo is, what was it, 202 by 360? Let me bring it up again there. 202 by 360, yeah. So just type it in there. 202 by 360. Click OK, and you have a 202 by 360 canvas. Now all I got to do is take my image and drag it in there, and it fits. So that's the way you want to start a project when you want your project to be the size of your image file. You just want to start it from either the blank project button right here. Let me close this. You want to start it from the blank project button, or from your new project button right there, right there, or right there. But remember, that's only if it's an image. If it's an image, that's where you want to start it from. Now, the other important thing about that, let me go back over here to the file. Now, like I said, I changed the image size in Paint, and I did the same thing with this one here, so I'm not even going to bother to explain all of that. But I did the same thing with that. I changed the image size with Paint, and like I said, I think Paint did something with the EXIF data that the phone didn't do, and when I ran it through Paint, Paint rewrote the EXIF data in a way that Vsdc can understand. Okay, so that's how you fix your image files to open up correctly in Vsdc, and that's how you make the video. Make the image, and that's how you make your project match the size of your of the image file that you're trying to bring in, because you want your project to be the same size as that image. The only difference between this one here, like I said, I shrunk this down to try to compare it with the video, the size of the officer video, and this one here I did to try to match the size of the project that I want output, which would have been 1280 by 720. But I did it when I put it in Paint. I didn't change the aspect ratio, and so it set it to 1280 by 1706, and it was still usable. But the thing about it is, if I open the original one, it's going to be rotated. If I open this one, it's not going to be rotated. If I open this one, it ain't going to be rotated. So again, run your image file through Paint and save it, and when you open it in Vsdc, it won't be rotated. You can probably use Photoshop or GIMP or Krita, whichever imaging program you use. You can probably run it through there and save it, and it'll fix the EXIF data also. And the other thing we learned in this video, in this particular video, we learned that Handbrake, you can take your video files, if it's rotated, you can take it and run it through Handbrake right here, and just convert it through Handbrake. It doesn't, I forget what it says. It says convert or export or something up there at the top, and then you export it the way you want, and Handbrake will rewrite all the EXIF data for you. And when you open it up in Vsdc, your stuff will be correct. It will be oriented properly, and that saves you a whole bunch of headaches. And I'm sure doing some more of my videos that you'll see exactly what I'm talking about as I go through, because I'll be doing all of that step by step, because I want to do stuff step by step so you can see and understand what I'm doing and try to explain it to you while I'm doing it. Because I want stuff to be clear. But at this point, I just want to say to everybody that's watching, thank you for watching my videos, listening to me talk. I know sometimes I can get off of what I'm, get off of my topic, but we all do that sometimes. But aside from that, the main thing I want to say is thank you if you're a subscriber. Thank you if you liked or commented. Thank you if you gave me a thumbs down. If you disliked it, hey, it's all good for me, because it gives me feedback on how I'm doing with my videos. Also, when you comment, I would appreciate it if you would tell me what about my videos that you like or that you don't like. Comment and let me know. If you got a hint or a tip that you can share with everybody else that's watching, do that. Like I said, feedback not only helps me, it helps everybody else that watches too. Subscribe, like, and comment. One more time, subscribe, like, and comment. Or just either one, subscribe or like or comment, whichever you would like to do. Listen, all of you, take care, enjoy yourself. play with Vsdc, make sure you go out there and you get Handbrake, because that tool is going to help you out a whole lot. It converts videos, it resizes videos, you can change video format, from MP4, MKV, a bunch of other ones, I believe. You can do all kinds of things with it. It's a tool that everybody that's working on videos needs. If you're a video editor, you need to get Handbrake. One more time, if you're a video editor, if you work on videos, if you like filming videos, you need to get Handbrake, because it'll keep it. The main thing that I like about it it keeps my videos from going out of sync. Let's see, is there anything else I want to say? Yes, I want to say once again, thank you. God bless y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. And come back and see us again at LW&C with Vsdc. And we're going to learn some more good stuff here. Okay. All right, I'm gone.